morning and welcome to the Force Lake Morning Show. My name is Tyler and I'm here with
Brandon,
the best in the business, and we are going to kick it off with a lot of information this week. Obviously, so much is going on. We have the Grammys tonight. We have breaking news that has happened in the industry this week.
A lot of stuff. A lot has happened.
But we are going to start off with what we always start off with, the Billboard Top 10 Hot 100.
Top 10.
Now, actually, because there is so much stuff that's happened this week, we're going to kind of blaze through this because there have only been 2 changes since last week. So there's really nothing new to report, but I will just run through if you weren't here last week to join us on this show, or if you don't feel like going back to watch that episode. Number 1, Flowers, still at number 1. That's by Miley Cyrus. We have Kill Bill by SZA at 2. Anti-Hero by Taylor Swift at 3. Creepin' by Metro Boomin' at 4. Unholy by Sam Smith and Kim Petras at 5. David
Guetta
and Baby Rexha, I'm Good at number 6. Die For You by The Weeknd at 7. Rich Flex by Drake at 8. And the 2 changes that we have are Harry Styles, As It Was at number 10 last week, but it is now moved to number 9. And Jake Golden Hour has broke the top 10, being at number 11 last week, to now make the number 10 spot on the top 10 Hot 100.
Nice. Welcome aboard.
Woo! Man, I'm out of breath.
I got a little backstory for Metro Boomin.
Yeah, what you got?
So since we're getting closer to the Super Bowl, he's actually going to be in a Budweiser commercial, I believe. Not his music, just like him physically is going to be in the commercial. I guess like he's from St. Louis, and I guess Anheuser-Busch is in St. Louis. So they're like, you know what? Let's let him be in the commercial, I guess. He's popping right now, so.
Budweiser's notorious for the Clydesdales, right?
Yeah.
The Clydesdale commercials.
Mm-hmm.
It would be sweet if we see Metro Boomin just roaming
in on the
slow
Clydesdales.
motion on a Clydesdale.
That would be actually
with
really
Clydesdales behind him.
Yeah.
Lucky him. I mean, I think they're going, commercials are going for like $7 million for 30 seconds this year, which is crazy. It might be higher. I thought that's the going rate right now. It's crazy. I think in the 90s, a 30-second commercial was $1 million. So it's crazy the rates changing. But good for Metro Boomin. That's going to be good publicity because I feel like even though he's in the top 10, he might have a really big market because he's hip-hop rap, right?
Yeah.
So not particularly something we are really listening to, but...
well, he's a great producer. Like some of his tracks are really cool. Like
that's true.
How he's produced it.
He's the producer working with... There's another name here with him. Oh, The Weeknd and 21 Savage. Okay, so Metro Boomin's the producer.
Yeah.
I just read his name first because it comes up first on the top 10. Shout out Metro Boomin.
Yeah.
And the Clydesdales that he's going to be roaming in on that we'll all be watching next Sunday at the Super Bowl.
That'll be cool.
By the way, the Eagles made it to the Super Bowl. I'm not going to say anything more because I don't want to jinx what's going to happen at that Super Bowl, just in case the worst possible outcome happens for me.
Interesting.
We lose.
I mean, I guess we'll find out next week.
We'll see next week. But anyway, music news. What do we have going on in the industry this week, Brennan?
First up, we have a lot, but just diving in, Ozzy Osbourne announces his official retirement.
You can
Ozzy
retire.
Osbourne's officially done. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. He's just retired.
Yeah, don't wish death upon our man.
No, definitely not. So I guess like any person when they get up in age, they get treatments, physical therapy, whatnot. And I guess he just had too much. He said he's just physically weak, can't do it. His voice is fine, but he canceled some of his upcoming European dates, and he says he's done.
It's understandable.
I mean, especially for how did he make it this far? I mean, that alone is a miracle. But
how has he lived this?
Props
this
on
far?
him, rock legend. Enjoy your retirement.
Well, tip of caps to Ozzy Osbourne on a great career. I didn't know you can retire from the music industry. You know what I mean? I guess it's just a formal way of doing it. I don't think people really do. Like
who knows? Maybe he'll come back for like one show or something.
Yeah, any event he appears at will be a special event because it's like him coming out of retirement.
Yeah, for sure. I'm gonna dive into another one here.
Yeah,
Beyonce is announcing a Renaissance World Tour. So it's her new album, Renaissance, is going to be her 7th album, her first solo tour in over 6 years. So Beyonce's going on tour.
Is this album already out, or she's announcing its release?
I believe it's out.
Oh yeah,
It's her
okay,
7th
yeah.
album.
I think I think it's up for Grammys. I don't know why. The way you worded that, I thought, is it a new album coming out? Okay,
Just the tour. The tour
just
is
the
new
tour
part.
for the album.
Yeah. So that's exciting. Beyonce. I've never seen her. I would go see her though.
I'd go see her too.
Yeah.
I just don't know if we do we fit the demographic of who would go see Beyonce? There's got to be other dudes there.
I feel like any concert you go to nowadays though, it's like there's a mix of everyone.
Is there?
I 100%.
Well, as producers, we should go anyway. Who cares?
Yeah.
Fuck it. It's a good. She would probably put on just as good, not just as good as a show as Coldplay, but a close show.
Oh, I bet her shows are really good. Yeah. Plus, it's Beyonce. You got to go see Beyonce.
She's going to be a legend. We got to be telling our grandkids.
Yeah.
Back in my day, I saw Beyonce.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna do.
That's what
our kids are just gonna check our Instagram. They're just gonna be like, "Oh, this is what he was doing." Like they're just scrolling through our lives.
That's a scary thought.
That's a weird thought.
Imagine if you could look at your parents' Instagram from the 70s, 80s, 90s. Oh God,
I don't think I would like that. I don't want to. No.
It's cool.
What do you got?
But it is cool when you look at like old family photos that are vintage, like the Polaroids of the actual old school footage of your parents.
But like, how much better are pictures gonna get now? You know, I feel
it
like
might be 3D.
It pretty much represents life. Like it's not black and white. It's not grainy or anything like that. It's good.
I think the only next thing you could do is make it like 3-dimensional or like holographic, or like push a button and like it's right there.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Excuse me. So we do have other breaking news. They have released the inductee nominees to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. So I'm gonna actually have to get my list for this because it is a decent amount of people that are nominated. There's 14 artists. Just to remind everybody, the official ceremony inductions are held in November. The location changes around year to year. They haven't released where it will be held this year, but the actual winners will be announced in May. So we'll find out in May, and there's actually something I'll get into here in a minute about how you can influence the vote for who makes it into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame for 2023.
You know, I honestly did not know that they're hosted in different cities every year.
Yeah.
I thought it was always Cleveland.
It should be Cleveland.
That would make sense.
I really do think it should be Cleveland, but I think maybe there's ways to make money by not having it in Cleveland, by going to New York, going to LA, going to Nashville. I mean, who knows?
Yeah, that's cool.
To be inducted or to be considered a nominee for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, you have to have a 25-year gap from now to your first commercial release. So there has to be 25 years of your first commercial release before you become eligible. So for these 14 artists that have, some of these, it's their first time, others it is not. Number 1, Kate Bush. We all know Kate Bush broke off on TikTok with Running Up That Hill. And we mentioned how much she made just in royalties this year. But she has actually plenty of other good songs. And this is not her first time being inducted. 2, Sheryl Crow, first time. Missy Elliott, number 3, first time. 4, Iron Maiden, not their first time. Number 5, Joy Division and New Order, their first time. 6, Cyndi Lauper, first time.
Who's that?
Cyndi Lauper is a legend. I love her. I'll name some of her songs. You definitely know her. Number 7, Willie Nelson, first time. Number 8, Rage Against the Machine. Number 9, Soundgarden. Number 10, The Spinners. Number 11, A Tribe Called Quest. Number 12, The White Stripes. Number 13, George Michael, his first time. And number 14, Warren Zevon. So, quite an extensive list. Now, only 5 to 7 of these people will make it into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. 5 to 7. It changes from year to year, but that's about the average going rate for the people that are nominated, that are inducted, that have been nominated.
It blows my mind that you, like, I want to know their voting system, because you have people like Sheryl Crow, the White Stripes, Iron Maiden, like all these people who you think should be in there or should at least be nominated, but like Sheryl Crow, that's her first time being nominated.
Right.
That's crazy.
Some of those first time people being nominated, it's also their first year of eligibility. So you can be first time nominated but not be first year eligible because you maybe had a song that's now 30 years since your first commercial release, or vice versa. You know, it could be your first and first. It's funny you mentioned that because I have the answer for you.
Okay.
Let's go. The way the Rock Hall breaks down the voting is to have 1,000+ members that are musical artists, historians, probably some, music business executives and managers. It's an international pool of those types of people to cast a vote. So it's almost democratic in a way, right? And they have a very large pool of probably very highly regarded individuals to make the vote.
They vote on like which artists to be in the pool, not just which one wins or which one gets.
It's so it's not for that's not for the nominees. I don't know how they nominate people. Well, it's because obviously there's probably more than just 14 people that are eligible. So I don't know the nomination selection process.
The 1,000 people pick from that pool that
they pick from that
listed.
pool to go who will make it into the Rock Hall. Now, in conjunction with that, like I mentioned earlier, the Rock Hall, as of a year or 2 years ago, began doing a fan-influenced vote. So now, in conjunction with the historians, the music executives, the artists that are an international pool of people to select winners from the nominee list, fans can actually go online and influence this vote. And I will include a link. We'll include a link into all the description boxes and everywhere so that you can participate in this. In conjunction with those votes, they include all the fan votes through this rock and roll voting system, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame online voting system. Right now, there are about 500,000 votes for this list. I already submitted mine because I thought it was kind of fun. I selected Iron Maiden, Cyndi Lauper, Rage Against the Machine, A Tribe Called Quest, and George Michael. Now, I actually wasn't too far off of who is currently leading that list off the fan votes. Right now,
tells you?
What's that?
It tells you who's leading?
It does tell you, and it breaks down the number of votes per person. So Cyndi Lauper is at number 1 with 63,000 votes. Then George Michael, 63,000. Willie Nelson, the two being 63, that comes down to the 100 value of who's winning and who's not. George Michael has 56,000. Willie Nelson has, correction, Cyndi Lauper, 63,000 votes. George Michael, 63,000 votes. Willie Nelson, 56,000 votes. Soundgarden, 55,000. And then 5, they do the top 5. Iron Maiden's at 51,000.
Wow.
And then there's all the other people. So Cyndi Lauper obviously should make it. Girls Just Want to Have Fun.
Oh, okay.
True Colors. Time After Time.
Okay.
She's put out hits.
Is that her first time, you said?
This is her first time, yes.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, do they just forget about people? And then they're like, oh, you know what? We forgot Led Zeppelin. Like,
yeah, I don't know.
How does that work?
It is really interesting how they actually like select the nomination. I don't know how they do that. I can find out. But this is really big news. I mean, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is huge. It's huge to us because we lived in Cleveland, and it's a beautiful facility with, I mean, just history out the wazoo.
How many shows have we played at the Rock Hall?
Yeah, we've played. The School of Rock has played a number of shows at the Rock Hall.
Too many
on that stage.
Too many shows.
Honestly, I always thought the sound was really good there.
Sound was great.
Great sound.
Spider-Man? Was that the sound guy?
Was that the guy? I don't know the guy's name.
Yeah, he had like a spider tattoo on his head.
But they were tucked. The sound guy was tucked away. They didn't really have like a big mix board. It was wasn't it just a little thing off to the right?
Small little console. Yeah.
If you're on the stage.
Great sound though.
Great sound. Maybe it's because it's so acoustic in there. And what's better than having live music at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
True.
They do it often. There's a lot of events held there, and it's pretty sweet. If you haven't been to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, definitely go. If you're not in the Cleveland area, definitely make it a reason to go see, or a reason to go visit Cleveland.
Yeah.
Listen, all these artists, if you look at the list, the list is very diverse, and they all have their influence on generations of fans and other musical acts. So I think this is a really amazing nominee list for rock and roll.
Yeah, honestly, I got to go vote.
People. Yeah, you got to cast your vote, dude.
Yeah, I'll cast my vote.
So voting is open until April 28th, and your votes will be tallied into the official 1,000+ votes of the actual people who are international artists and execs.
That's cool, for sure. All right. For all of you country fans out there, you're going to like this one. So Morgan Wallen is releasing an album in March called One Thing at a Time. Right? One Thing at a Time. His latest album. March release. He's going to be releasing it through Big Loud, Mercury, and Republic Records. I guess he's affiliated with all three. He also is announcing a tour. There's going to be 63 shows starting March 15th. The kicker here.
Uh-oh. This
is where you come in. We always talk about like how albums should be shorter, right? People are putting out like 15, 20 song albums. And you're like, that's a lot. Morgan Wallen is releasing 36 songs.
Are you fucking with
36
me?
songs on this album. 36. That's 3 albums worth, at least. That's crazy.
This comes out March 15th.
Yes,
Or the tour
I believe
starts
so.
March 15th.
I think that the tour starts March 15th. The album comes out in March, sometime in March. 36 songs. It's crazy. He said, I guess he said they just kept flowing. They kept producing them out, and it just came easy. So they just kept writing.
Who's checking the checker, dude? I
Dude,
mean,
I look at that from like a songwriter or a producer standpoint. Like, you're producing 36 songs. That takes so long.
it takes so long, and there's
One
no
song,
way.
like, if you're doing it right, like one song takes a long time, like,
Yeah.
to get right. Like, you're, especially for like us, like 2 guys or just one guy, 2 guys. You're coming back and you're trying to make 1 or 2 guys sound like 5 or 6 guys worked on it. You know, and like the way you do that, you keep coming back to it. You keep, coming from different angles, keep adding different instrumentation, and 36 songs. That's
It's a
crazy.
waste of time. It's a waste of money, and it's a waste of effort, because I don't think people are going to listen to 36 straight songs. Maybe the diehard fans are, but there's no way those 36 songs individually are unique and sufficient enough to stand alone as really great songs.
You never know, though. Honestly, like we'll see. We'll see in March, but
Yeah.
they might be great. It might be 36 awesome songs, and if so, then Morgan Wallen, you were a god.
And this is a caveat, because Morgan Wallen in the country industry is a god. He's really freaking good. The guy's
he's
got a great
great.
voice. I got nothing against him other than the one time he said, I think, the N-word, which was
Oh, did
some
he?
backlash he took. But I still just don't get, if Coldplay put out 36 songs on one album, I wouldn't listen to it all. I just don't think you can feasibly do that. I think they're biased. As a songwriter, we'll work on songs and we'll think they're really good, but they're really not. And there are songs that are meant to be written that just get you to a better song. So for him to put 36 songs on the album is me thinking that he's just putting on the shitty songs because he likes them and he thinks they make sense, but really they're not actually that good of a song or worth the money. and
Yeah,
effort to
possibly.
be on there.
We'll see. I know, like, even One Republic, they put out one album, I think, had like 16 songs or something like that, which is a lot. Like 16
It
is a lot, but they were all really good. So I'm not saying it's not impossible. Like,
It's not impossible, but now take that and times that by 2.
Yeah, I
and
know.
and there's still some on the extra end there.
yeah,
And Ryan Tedder in One Republic is a little bit better than Morgan Wallen, just given that Ryan Tedder has written for how many artists and written how many hits. He has the cheat code. We've talked about it. Ryan Tedder, he could make a 36 song
He has the
album
formula.
with all 36 being hits.
Yeah.
Maybe I hope to God he worked on this with Morgan Wallen. Otherwise, it's just a waste. But
yeah. I mean, honestly, Ryan Tedder probably writes 36 hits a month.
probably he
But-
did just say they have their next single. It's called Runaway.
Yeah, I
One
did see
Republic.
that.
Yeah,
I'm excited for
I'm
that.
excited for that too. I'm
We'll
like,
see.
oh my god! Like right now, Ryan Tedder,
fangirling.
he's writing a hit right now. Ryan Tedder's out there doing something hit wise. But we'll see. We'll give Morgan Wallen a chance. I'm not going to listen to all 36 songs. I'm probably going to see what the little trending song is on Apple Music is or Spotify.
Yeah, that's what everyone's gonna do.
the little star, and then just listen to those. So. And then I don't know. It's like, why would you even want to put it out if you know people aren't going to really listen to the stuff that you wanted on there? I don't know. It should be bonus
maybe
stuff.
if you're going on a 2.5, 3 hour road trip somewhere, just shuffle the album.
Yeah, I guess that's true. But usually, maybe it is put in order to tell a story. Many artists
Yeah.
do that. They tell a story. Damn,
Yep,
I hate that so much.
it happens.
We need 6-song albums in the industry.
We'll do it.
Yeah,
For
we will
sake.
do it. We'll
For
break
sake,
it.
we'll
We'll
do
break
it.
the mold.
I got another one.
Yeah, what's up?
Drake is proposing that Spotify offers bonuses for artists who hit major milestones with their songs. I'm in favor of this.
Yeah.
It's kind of like an athlete. Like an athlete
Incentives,
hits, yeah, exactly, incentives. It makes you work better, makes you produce better songs. And currently, I think Spotify pays like less than half a cent a stream or something like that.
Yeah, it's bad.
Like
It's bad.
way less. So incentives. Give the artists bonuses. Give them whatever. Anything.
Drake has some influence, I think. Yeah, well, he may not, because it might take more than just being Drake to make change like that.
Yeah.
But that is a brilliant idea. So we're talking like
I'm all in favor.
Miley
Yeah.
Cyrus breaking the record for
Yeah.
most streams in 7 days. Like, hey,
Miley
here's an
gets a bonus.
extra $2 million or something.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like Spotify's not making money. Spotify's making bank.
Oh, they're
from
making
that.
so much money. Yeah. Now, it's funny you bring that up because I actually have news related to that happened this week, Tuesday, January 31st. Universal Music Group has created an alliance with Tidal. Now, Tidal is a streaming platform that really, I don't know how popular it is, but it's made to be in favor of the artist monetarily. So there's subscription platforms where artists can actually have more return in royalties when streams are actually occurring because there's people paying for subscriptions. So I don't know the actual breakdown of it. Our stuff is on Tidal, but it's not really in competition with Apple Music or Spotify as far as popularity.
Our stuff's on Tidal?
Yeah, when
didn't know that.
when you use a middleman distributor, you can upload immediately to all platforms. Shazam, Recognition, Tidal, literally everything. Things that you don't even think exist, and I think some that are actually for other countries. Basically, the reason Universal is doing this is because they want to create an artist-centric streaming model, where basically they're transform how artists are paid by streaming platforms. So kind of what Drake is trying to do, right? How can we help the artists? It's obviously known that artists are getting ripped off, and like we talked about, I think last week, the model is primed for somebody to make a serious change because we're all fed up with it. The only ones who aren't are the labels making all the money and Spotify. Basically, they're going to do this by conducting research where they harness engagement to explore subscription growth, retention, and updated monetization. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with that, but it is very new and it is related to what Drake is coming out saying as far as, hey, let's get some milestones in here. Let's get artists, their money. Because it's a messed up system right now that we live in with digital streaming, which is why
maybe Spotify will give out a bonus for artists who put out 36 track albums. The more tracks, the merrier. The more tracks, the bigger your bonus.
The Forrest Lake better step on the gas, dude. We better get some songs on. I couldn't even imagine if we had to write 36 songs for one album. If we had a team, we could do it, but
5 years later.
5 years, it would take forever.
It'd take a little while.
Yeah, and then I'd probably hate all of them and throw them away, and then we'd have to start over. Yeah, okay, just to finish everything up for today before we get out of here and let you guys go enjoy the Grammys later today and have a good, safe Sunday with your family. I wanted to bring up something regarding the Grammys because I thought it was kind of interesting. Obviously, the history is kind of unique, and that's a whole other story. Maybe something we could do next week, or like as a bonus episode, we can go into the history of the Grammys after we do like a breakdown of the winners tonight. But let me ask you, when you think of the Grammys, generally what comes to mind as far as like, how are they selected, the winners? What's it based off of?
Didn't we talk about this before? We came to the conclusion that it was like corrupt or something.
We were talking about the MTV Music Awards and how we realized that there's a secret ballot for that. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I would kind of imagine a similar process. I'm not really sure. Is it kind of like the Rock Hall where you have a committee?
There is a committee.
Yeah.
I generally think that most people would say, oh, it's got to be based off of commercial success or some sort of merit that can be measured of how successful a song is or was in the industry during its release that year. It turns out that the Grammys are really just personal fucking opinion from the hand-selected individuals that are chosen to choose a winner. So it is a panel-based thing. Just to give you some information on like the types of voters. One voter of this year's Grammy. This is an anonymous report that was conducted of actual Grammy voters this year. People that will choose and contribute a vote towards who's going to win a Grammy tonight. And their background. One voter is a Grammy-winning producer engineer who has been a voter for almost 20 years. Another Grammy voter is a 30-something female singer voting for the second time. Another one is a 20-something producer voting for the first time. And I think my other sheet had another one. I forget what it was. But that's just to kind of give you an overview of like how diverse it is. You can have 20-year vets. You can have a first-year time voter. And after reading through a lot of what they've said, as far as how they're choosing these winners, it's simply based off of their personal opinion and their heart, not their head. So, for example, when asked about Best New Artist, one of the voters said that the main skin, the nominee that we've actually mentioned before, feels very kitschy for the Grammys. And let me break down that word for you. That means trashy. So, just to give you an example, this guy is saying, I'm not going to vote for main skin because they just feel trashy. He believes they're trashy, so he's not going to vote for them. Another voter has said, I love the Brandi Carlile track, but I didn't think it was record of the year. I also like the Steve Lacy track a lot, but what do I think everyone else is going to vote for? Not those two. For the top categories, I think it has to be more than just your taste. And the Grammy it goes to should mean something other than, I just liked that track. So it's funny she says that because it seems like these voters are voting off of if they like the track or not. Which I don't think is really significant for something that we hold very high significance for.
Yeah, that's interesting. So it's a panel of like a handful of individuals.
Yes. In the industry, singer, I don't know really what their background are. Here's an interesting one that I thought you would like. So one voter who was asked about how they're going to select album of the year. This is what they said. This is so funny. I'm a huge Coldplay fan, even more than Harry Styles. They've stood the test of time. They're amazing, prolific songwriters. This isn't their best album, but I would love to see them get a Grammy.
I mean, that's fair. I would agree.
It sounds biased.
It's not their best album.
Okay, this is the point.
But I see what you're saying. But it's not like he's going to go vote for Beautiful, like Coldplay or something.
This voter specifically is saying, out of all the other categories, or out of all the other nominations for Album of the Year, I'm biased towards Coldplay, and I want to see them win a Grammy, so I'm going to vote for them to win a Grammy, just because I don't like the other nominations for Album of the Year. How does that sound fair in a voting process for what we regard as one of the best... the best of the best for this industry?
You would think it would be more like the Rock Hall, where you'd have like 1,000 people voting on this.
Right. I would assume this is not 1,000 people. It's got to be much smaller and very select. So probably, I wouldn't say it's a secret ballot because it's not a secret, because it's not saying, oh, we're a fan vote only, and then they have a secret ballot. I think it's very biased. I'm not trying to expose the Grammys, but I am exposing the Grammys a little bit here because I don't know how much mainstream attention this is going to get, but it is something to think about because the Grammys to me has always meant so much. Like, oh my God, the Grammys, and then to see my favorite artist win a Grammy, how can I value that now that I know like it's just somebody, a collection of personal opinions.
Yeah. I mean, it usually coincides with like the Billboard charts too.
There is influence, right?
Yeah.
Certainly, I think you're going to have a lot of Lizzo songs or Beyonce stuff that's on the top of the charts. You're going to see it influence these voters.
Sure.
But for this person specifically, that doesn't matter. They're still biased as far as the Grammy goes for Album of the Year because they like Coldplay and they don't like anyone else.
How can we influence that guy? Say, hey, Forest Lake. Forest Lake.
We have to release So I'll Wait, which is getting released in a handful of days.
It's coming up. I think is it Saturday?
It's on Friday.
Friday?
Yeah.
Friday.
February 10th. Check out Forest Lake on all streaming platforms, streaming So I'll Wait. That's all I had. That was my promo.
That was it.
This is why we need a promo team.
I'll wrap us up with one last thing.
Yeah, go for it, man.
Hard Summer Music Fest is returning to Los Angeles after 10 years of nothing.
Who?
The Hard Summer Music Festival. So apparently it's this big music festival in downtown LA, and this year is going to be August 5th and August 6th. And similar to any other music fest, they're going to have stages spread out across the city, and you can buy tickets now.
Really?
The lineup is still TBD, but you can buy tickets. That seems a little sketch.
But it's downtown.
It's downtown LA.
They're just scattered throughout downtown LA.
I guess so. Like different stages or different like venues or concert halls or wherever.
Sounds kind of cool.
It does sound pretty neat. Yeah. So they used to do this all the time, and They kind of took a 10-year hiatus, and now they're back.
See, that's why when you said it, I was confused. I was like, I've never heard of this
That's probably why.
festival, and it's been gone for 10 years.
Yep. But Hard Summer Music Fest.
They have to be coming out with a sweet lineup. 10 years.
Downtown LA.
Hiatus coming
in
back.
the summer. They got to have at least a couple cool people there.
And in LA, you already have.
Everyone's there.
You have everybody that
Yeah.
you need there for a great comeback.
Maybe that's why you can buy tickets now, but the lineup's still TBD.
Yeah.
Because you're anticipating it's going to be good.
Yeah. I'm going to anticipate that it's going to be good, and we'll probably talk about it when we do find the lineup.
Yeah. So if you've heard of it, let us know. If you're going to it, let us know.
Yeah, and also let us know if you're going to be tuning into the Grammys tonight. We'll post polls on the platforms here for you guys, and let us know your thoughts. And then we'll probably put out I'm thinking we'll maybe get a bonus episode later this week for a recap of the nominations, just so it's not so late.
Yeah.
Come next Sunday, and then we can talk about some other fun stuff. And other than that, we hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you for tuning in to the Forest Lake Morning Show. As always, I'm Tyler.
I'm Brennan.
And we can't appreciate you guys enough. Peace out.
See ya.